Only this is the part here that I call the thicket. I was sort of sitting down rather low in all this. This is just a big, solid, thumping pile. Funny thing is though, because they're all, and I noticed this with the big patch, was near the pines. It's sort of bizarre. It's a bit like forest trees. When they're in a big clump, they're fighting for light, so they run to the top as quick as they can. And that's green there, that's sort of in the middle. I'm just sort of sitting underneath the outer edges here. But as a result of them all fighting for the light, she's actually pretty clear underneath. Yeah. Now all I've got to do is snip this little turkey that's probably only as thick as my finger, and maybe this annoying little bugger that's hanging onto me now. And I could probably get clean under there into all that, crawl round, hands and knees, maybe a bit of sheet metal strapped onto my back to stop myself getting stabbed in the back or in the bloody spine or something. And I could get in and probably get borers going and get quite a number of holes in the bases. And although last time I done it, when I drilled holes, they were sort of in an upright arrangement. You'd sort of pour it onto the top hole and then they'd drip into the second and wouldn't really go in. But what I'm thinking is, if I could get the borer into these, a lot of these are actually laying side on in here. And what I can do is get something like Porky there and just drill there, umpteen times in that line, and then actually have like a bunch of cups and fill them up with poison. And I've got a little mayonnaise squeezy bottle that, you know, allows it to go into places like this without spilling it all over the place, and dispense it really nicely because it's coming out such a small nozzle. Over there, I don't know if you can see that one there. She's a nice big solid one, and that goes lengthways for nearly 2 foot. So at the end of the day, I might be able to get a lot of this without a problem. There's another big line which is almost a thicket, and there's nothing like this ability to creep in here. See what it is? That's going up the hill there, and it's the pure fact that it's on such a steep part of the hill here. And the fact it's a thicket fighting for light that I've got access to this end. But it's leaving me with a lot of possibilities, because I could never get to the middle of this because the little lance isn't long enough on the sprayer, you know, and I've really quite well killed some of the ones like that there. It's completely dead. That's one of the outer ones. But the middle I haven't quite got. I'm seriously thinking of getting down in here, hands and knees, nice and dirty, and you'd be surprised there's almost none, except one little stick I can see in there, almost no prickles underneath it, that are actually on the ground that are going to stab me in the leg or whatever, which is quite surprising. But I reckon I'm going to give this a flaming shot. Look, you got lovely big bits like that. Look at the size of that. Blasted thing's about 5 inches diameter. And on a nice horizontal, you know, all I got to do is just slam the drill straight into it, and off we go. And I'm feeling pretty enthusiastic today, and I might actually have a go at it today. Alrighty, gonna go under with the Milwaukee and the mayonnaise bottle. Got a bit of backup poison there. Makita in case I run the batteries flat on the Milwaukee or overheated or whatever, which I shouldn't. Well, you know, I sort of run tools pretty hard. And here's me lops just to go in and clear out that bit. Let's oh, that would have been wind noise. Let's have a bit of a look here what we got. Now, look at the steepness of all this. It just straight down, and after the rock she sort of comes out a bit, but this is part of the rock shelf. That's part of the lay of the land here. A lot of rocks up there and whatnot. So we're going to be getting into stuff that's however tall that is. That is dramatically taller than me. My head would come up about there, I reckon. Maybe not even that. You know, it may be as deep as 10 foot in the worst spot there that I've got to go into. So here we go, crawling under 9 or 10 foot, in places 10 foot of prickles that will puncture car tyres, and have even punctured the front tyre of one of our tractors. Gee, she's thick. Alrighty. In we go, eh? I would have loved to have convinced Troy to go in here and try and cut these off at the base when he was here. Just imagine, I couldn't really see Troy under about 10 foot worth of prickles. But it's another possible opening there. I don't think it's very good though. I've got less things to cut coming through the other way, so I'll go up through this way. Okay people, well, she's all systems go. I've been drilling into these here, and as you can see the yellow liquid, that's the glyphosate filled up into it. I've got another one here. I was considering drilling some of the smaller ones off at the base and then painting the stump. It's only one big problem. All the other ones I roll out of the way before I paint the stump. I am not going to be able to roll anything out of the way here because nothing will move an inch when you are underneath about 10 foot of solid bloody prickles. Yeah, groovy. Great, isn't it? Right under here. I might have to hack that one there, little one tiddler here. You can see there out of the way to get further deeper into the other ones. She was great. You know, the ground started caving in because there's a flipping rabbit hole under here. This place has been riddled with rabbit holes for a long time, but I worked my way over into all that part over there, and hope to see Troy's video where he climbs under 10 foot of prickles to attack the base with poison. Holy smoke. Out from under the rabbit hole. Bit of dirt on me pants. Ran the little Milwaukee flat and the Makita. So I've got to go and I should be able to finish it with the Makita. I might just change batteries on the Milwaukee instead of take the whole drill back. And yeah, I've got to get rid of little dangly one in there that you can't see sort of further down. That larger one you can see there, probably this one here, that one and that one, and then we should have just about got it nailed. Sort of interesting. I'm learning a lot of different things about these plants to the nth degree. I can drill into wood and look at the colour of the wood and tell if the plant's live or dead by the colour of the wood. I also realise that there's some plants under there, all this dead stuff that's underneath that keeps stabbing me in the back and all that, some plants are under there that are completely dead, that make up all the dead stuff underneath, and other plants make up the higher green stuff. So it's almost like, well, some plants, yeah, are alive, and others must have been the earlier ones that have made all the dead undergrowth, and they're long gone. They've been dead for years. And you got to sort of work out what one's what. And if you've ever been involved in grape pruning, especially when you got to train on, you know, new vines and stuff like that, sometimes you get ones where they'll get ripped out accidentally by the harvester, and so you get a long vine from the one beside it, and you forget the name of it, but it basically goes underneath the ground and then back up again, and they snip the end of it. It starts its own roots after at least 2 years, and in all of that, in pruning grapes and doing stuff like that, you get an eye to be able to trace one cane through a whole shitstorm of other canes, and I can basically look at a plant on the, usually I'll look at one higher up that's green, look directly upwards, and pick out one that's green that I think is rather close by, and I can follow the stem right the way through all this mass of crap. My eyes can follow the stem to work out exactly what base that green stem's coming from, and therefore what one I've got to attack. So yeah, but that's an acquired skill that sort of comes, well, from having pruned grapes so many times before. Yeah, anyway, I better reload some batteries and probably have a bit of a drink and whatnot. You're under there pretty tight and your legs can get sort of cramped and all that, and I've been under there for, holy smoke, like about 40 minutes already. So I'll have a break and bring back batteries and get back to it. There we go, people. Last of it's been done. This one here on the outside sort of looks reasonably dead, but the reality is it's also harbouring a whole heap of green stuff with that inner branch that you can possibly see a few little holes drilled in there. Yeah, I can sort of tray well. It's another little trick I use. You give the branch a kick and you'll see what it's connected to by the vibrations, obviously. But anyway, we have sorted this, and with a bit of luck, we'll be able to see the vast majority of it dead. There's one or two very small ones that may be live in this, but honestly, like, some of those weren't much thicker than my thumb. You know, some of them might have been about an inch diameter, you know, or less, and they're not likely to survive the rest of these burning. But I'll keep my eye on it, and we should have really good success, because it hasn't been raining, and it seems the poison does soak in after about half an hour or so. So, yeah.